Hey guys, I'm back with another What's Sold video for the week of May 17th through May 23rd. Only made sales on eBay and Mercari this week, so I'll be sharing just those sales. Starting off with my eBay sales. On May 18th, I sold a botanical lithograph for $5. I bought a bunch of these from a yard sale a couple of weeks ago. The next item that sold was on May 19th, and it was this Rand McNally children's animal book, which I spent 50 cents on. This book had great graphics. It sold for $9.99. And this book also came from a yard sale that I went to a couple of weeks ago. The next item that sold also on May 19th was this Nuvatag Everlane sports bra. I bought a bunch of these from an online auction called Whatnot a few years ago for $5 to $8 and found this in my death pile a few weeks ago. It sold for $13.99. I gave some of these away as gifts for Christmas and kept some for myself. These are great bras. Also on May 19th, I sold this World War II Red Cross porcelain piece for $7.99. This was found in a pile of jewelry and buttons I had purchased a year or two ago. On May 20th, I sold this vintage brass tie clip for $7.99. On May 20th, this religious postcard from 1946 sold for $3. This antique tintype photo also sold for $7.99 on the same day. This 1940s children's book sold for $8.99 on the same day as well. This book came from a yard sale where I bought over 35 books for $50. Next, we have a vintage postcard from Waldorf, Maryland that sold for $11.99. I had this postcard in my inventory since 2024. We have another botanical print that sold for $5. On May 21st, this Zippo lighter sold for $19.99. I bought a bunch of lighters like this, one for $10. None of them work, but some people collect these. On May 21st, I also sold this illustration that was from my death pile a year ago that I recently listed, and it sold the same day for $29.99. On May 22nd, I sold this antique CDV photo of this older woman from Washington, D.C. for $6.99. The same person also bought this CDV photo of this gentleman for $7.99. And he also bought this other CDV photo from Washington, D.C. for $7.99 as well. He also bought this CDV photo of this older woman from the Civil War era for $7.99. And I just want to add that this woman could have possibly been born in the 1700s, which is amazing. The last item that sold was this RPPC photo from Venice, Italy for $9.99. That is all for my eBay sales. In total, I've made $91.17 minus the eBay seller fees. I'm going to be sharing my Mercari sales from May 10th through May 16th. Starting off with the sale on May 13th, I sold these men's J. Crew blue chino pants, which I picked up at a yard sale a few weeks ago. I paid $2 for these pants, and they sold for $17.55. On May 12th, I sold this antique John Whittier poem book from 1887, which I purchased at a library sale last summer for a few dollars. It sold for $17.23. Moving on to my larger sales, I sold a couple of bundles, which I'm very thankful for. This first bundle consisted of 9 items from a repeat buyer of mine. He purchased all antique and vintage photos. The bundle ended up coming up to $58.29. He also purchased another bundle from me the same day on May 10th and purchased 9 more antique and vintage photos. The bundle sold for $48.46. Then I had another bundle from a different buyer who purchased all antique and vintage photos on May 12th. Her bundle came up to $47.16. Moving on to the smaller sales I'm not so proud of but happy to move. This vintage style cabinet sold on May 15th for $3.15. I bought it from a yard sale a few years ago and regret picking it up. I believe I paid $1 or $2 for it. I no longer pick up items like this anymore. The last item that sold on May 12th was this Aruba flag pin, which sold for $3.15. I purchased a bunch of pins about a year or two ago for $10, which was very much worth it. That is all for my Mercari sales. In total, I made $170.01 minus Mercari fees. With my eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, and Vintage sales combined for the week of May 10th through May 16th, I made $326.02. Thank you for watching. Like and follow for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next video.